Tonight This Week presents What the Papers Said. Lord Justice Leveson delivers his verdict on the British press. Guilty as charged. Cub reporters Sir Harry Evans and broadcast trainee Anne Diamond give us their head.
I was thrilled by Lord Leveson's recommendations. David Cameron now needs to implement them in full.
Stick with us for some sensational and possibly outrageous television. Now, the big danger for the press today wasn't the Leveson report, but the lack of a decent story. Fortunately, the Prime Minister saw that agreeing to regulation, backed by statutory legislation, would have been pretty boring for everyone concerned. So Call Me Dave obliged the press by giving them a story and rejecting the central recommendation of an inquiry that he himself set up. So we turned to broadcaster Anne Diamond and editor of the Sunday Times magazine, Sarah Baxter. We asked them to go head-to-head with their take of the biggest story of the week.
Well, we got a very severe dressing down today. Some of it deserved, some of it I thought in quite purple, even tabloid prose from Lord Justice Leveson. And yes, we have to swallow some humble pie. He was right about some things, but nothing, in my view, justifies state control of the press. And that is what he's recommending.
Well, I was thrilled when I first heard his report, because I thought he's got it dead right. He's listened to the mood of the country. He's listened to the evidence of self-regulated press over the last 30, 40, 50 years, and he's decided that something must be done now.
Yes, but there's absolutely no need for overturning our cherished press freedom, so I was thrilled to hear David Cameron, very statesmanlike, saying that the House of Commons is a bulwark of liberty, and he doesn't want to be the Prime Minister who goes down in history as the person who has curtailed press freedom. We're a beacon to the rest of the world. We shouldn't just throw that away lightly.
Well, I was very disappointed when I heard what David Cameron said, because I think he's let a lot of people down. It took a lot of courage for the witnesses to go before the Leveson inquiry. We had to dredge up all those old emotions, all those horrible old stories, and actually put ourselves in the press firing line all over again. It wasn't an easy thing to do. And I think for David Cameron to immediately pour cold water on what we all think is a very vital, important part of this whole process is desperately, desperately disappointing.
Well, it's right that people like you, Anne, should be able to have your say, and you have. But the press has also been putting its house in order and is willing to cooperate on increasing regulation, self-regulation. What we don't need is a bunch of expensive quangos and quangocrats deciding what is fit for publication and what isn't. Once they determine the public interest, press freedom flies out the window.
History has shown, though, that press self-regulation is self-serving. We have got to a point where we can actually make a real difference now. And if we miss this point, I think that will be sad for us all.
We don't need the law to tell us how to behave.
We do need the law, because without it, we just get press self-regulation, the press marking their own homework again, more of the same and no change.
The Prime Minister said it would be crossing a very dangerous Rubicon, and I agree with him.
The Prime Minister has listened to the wrong friends.
Well, Anne and Sarah are still talking to each other. Here they are in the sweet studio, now side by side, joined by Harry Evans, legendary editor of the Sunday Times. You share Michael's pessimism that it's all over?
Yes, I feel as though I've been taken for a ride, yes. I think it took a lot of courage for a great many people to go before Leveson in the hope that this really would be some sort of sea change. And now, yeah, just within an hour or so of Leveson making his report, suddenly cold water was poured on the whole thing, and I thought, why did we go there? What did we do that? What did we do that for? What did we achieve? Well, I just think the whole process will take too long. Anyway, if nothing,
70 years so far.
Yes, exactly. So it's very easy to think that it'll take another couple of years maybe before anything real is put on the table.
We have
by which time it'll be pre-election, and no political party will want to touch the idea of legislation.
And now to Clegg, they have sort of staked a pretty clear position that they believe this is what should happen. I hope Clegg doesn't move from that. I'm pretty sure Ed won't.
But I'm surprised that Ed has put himself in a position that whatever the question, the answer is...
Journalists to get back to work, thank you all very much. Or, as the chairman of the BBC called me, a former journalist. That would be me.